Hello shape enthusiasts, and welcome back to another episode in our blueprint design and compacting series. Once again, we're going to be focusing on hexagonal blueprints. Last episode we did some work with rotators over here, so we've got all our hexagonal rotators. There's a bunch of them, but now we need to work on the next stage of the process, which is destroying and cutting. So I want to create a series of blueprints that can process a hexagonal shape and cut it into all its different constituent parts. So going from a whole shape, I'd like to be able to take out just a sixth, 2/3, a half, removing a third, and just removing a sixth as well. So it'll be a series of blueprints. So let's start with the obvious one, which is the half cutter. It's basically just going to be a half destroyer blueprint. So let me bring out a bunch of this hexagonal shape here. Fortunately for us, our original half destroyer should work to take the full shape into a half shape. That's not a problem at all. The tricky part sort of starts when we want to get less than half a shape, because our full to quarter obviously doesn't work on a hexagonal shape. We've designed a full to like a quarter destroyer basically for a normal quad shape, but a quarter destroyer doesn't really work too well on a hexagonal shape. It actually gives us 2/3. So we have those two. But what if you just want to get a sixth of the shape? We need to modify these blueprints just a little bit. It's nothing too complicated, so let's get started. Now, for this blueprint, we're just going to take a shape and we're going to half destroy it to start with. You need 3 half destroyers to consume an entire belt. Then from this shape, we need to rotate it twice to get rid of 2/3 of this. So we're going to rotate it 120 degrees counterclockwise. That'll get the part that we want to destroy out, and then we just need to simply destroy the parts that we don't want. Nothing too tricky. We obviously need another 3 of these. We're going to move this into the center line, and then we're going to move it up 1 tile so that all the belts can come in. This belt will feed that, this belt will feed these, then we just need to get them out. Great, now we have our full shape to 1/6 blueprint. We just need to copy this over. We will flip it around, bring it there, and then copy it to 3 levels. As with all our blueprints, we'd like to test them with a bin to make sure it's running at full capacity. While that's going, let's get the rest of the shapes. They're going to be a little bit trickier. So we've got our destroyer blueprints. They're pretty easy. So we've got our full to half, our full to 2/3, our full to 1/3, and our full to 1/6. The other half is a little bit trickier because we want to remove 2/3 and then remove 1/6 so that we're left with 4 parts out of 6 of the shape and 5 parts out of 6 of the shape. So we're going to work on those a little bit. I'm going to start on a bigger platform, then I'll compact down because the process for this is a little bit trickier. So you can't just destroy half the shape in this case, right? We're going to have to start with some sort of cutting process. So we'll have to cut it in half and then only destroy part of the shape. So if I want to remove, say, 2 parts of the shape, I just need to rotate, say, this one 1 notch counterclockwise. So let's go ahead and do that. There's a counterclockwise rotator. Then if I just destroy the parts I don't want now using a half destroyer, then now we've got 1 part of the shape left. We just need to rotate it back and get it reattached to the original shape. So we can do that very simply by rotating it back the other way. So whatever direction you rotate it in, rotate it the other way. Then to get this and this together, we just need to use a swapper to get them back together. Something like that. It's not super complicated, but there we go. Now we've removed a third of the shape. So we want this blueprint, and for swappers, unfortunately, we need 4 of them to consume a full belt like this. Then we need to, I can leave it like this, but I really kind of want to remove like the top right part. So, I mean, if space permits, I'd like to rotate this twice, but I don't know if we're going to be able to do that and fit the blueprint. So if worst case scenario, we'll just leave it like this. Let's see. So can I fit this? This is definitely not going to fit onto a 1x1. You can already visually see it's not going to fit onto a 1x1, but can we somehow fit this into a 1x2? Let's find out. We'll take the blueprint and we will chuck it over here. Now, it's going over the center line, so you definitely can't fit it like this, but can we somehow do something like this? Ooh, I feel like it's like 1 tile too much. Can we like stagger them like this maybe? Maybe. If we create some sort of gap for the shapes to come in, maybe we can get them out. But we also have to get them out the other end like this, so it's kind of a little bit tricky. So let me just think about this. It's basically one shape coming in, one shape going out. Let's see how we can do this. Can we maybe put it down here somewhere? So say the shape comes in like this. We still need this shape out somewhere, right? If we put another one like, say, here, right next to it, we need to give it at least one tile to get out. Like this. Then we can get another one over. I feel like there's a way to get this to fit. Now we can get like 2 of these out, right? It feels like there's enough room to somehow fit this all in there. Then we can get a 3rd one going like, say, here. We'll just keep staggering them. And then can we get a 4th one in like anywhere, basically? So very close. It feels so very close, doesn't it? Oh, man. Somehow if we can like hop over this entire distance, we could potentially get it working. Start on a new platform, see how we can fit this in. There's gotta be a way. Just visually looking at this, it doesn't look like it should be hard to do. Like we can fit 2 like this, which is great, but it blocks the entire sort of output, right? There's no way we can get a belt around this mess. That's the problem. But if we stagger it to leave some gapping in the middle, like something like this, and then what's the minimal amount of gap we need to leave in the middle? Can we like stagger them like this to create openings a little bit? So we need this one out 1 tiles to get that out. Wait, we don't need it out 1 tile. No, yeah, we do need it out 1 tile to get this thing out. Oh, it's so annoying, this thing. What if we flip this the other way? Then this thing doesn't have to go that way. It can go this way. Then it can come back 1 tile. Okay, that saves a lot of space. Then we need to get the rest of the belts out. Oh, unfortunately, that doesn't work either. Damn. We do need some gaps over here. So if that's the case, then how does this belt feed this? And also other belts need to now come across this. Somehow we need to like jump the belt in between here. That's not gonna work, is it? Something like that. Right? That gets 2 done. Then how do we get more belts through this mess? Like we can't jump over it. There's no more gap to be created here. Like this. Then we can do something like this, maybe. There's so much empty room as well. I feel like I'm just doing something dumb. I'm sure one of you guys can come up with a better design than this. But maybe this will work. It's literally just 1 tile too wide as well. Even that is like a little bit sketchy. But even being able to get that into here, we can't get the outputs out like this. Oh, that's crazy. Alright, let me try some other stuff. You know, I'm thinking we literally just need to condense the width of this by 1 and then life would be so much better. So if we were to go over here, for example, instead of doing everything here and just having a belt going in here, why don't we leave this rotation where it is and get rid of a rotator? This thing's on this side, and if we just 180 rotate the other side, wouldn't that get us something, like wouldn't that just make everything 1 tile more condensed? Is that a thing? Yeah. And then what happens when we put these 2 shapes together? Doesn't that give us like, hey, it gives us an even better output than what we wanted. It gives us the hole where I wanted as well. Oh, wow. Yep, definitely doing that. So let's cut this. Let's grab that. Okay, that should now fit, right? Let's just test that it all works. Chuck a bin down. Yeah, and I wanted the hole on the top right? Yeah, that's actually awesome. Okay, cool. I think I'm going to go with this design, and that's going to help us a lot because it's 1 tile less, and literally we just needed everything to be 1 tile less to easily fit this into this design. So let me just flip this now, and we should be able to put 1 all the way on the edge, flip that and put 1 all the way on the edge this way as well. Now it fits. Wait, I still haven't even compressed the design yet. I was like, what the heck? Yeah, so now if we compress the design, we can put one all the way on the edge, one all the way on the edge here, and then everything just becomes super simple, right? Because you can just bring like one belt here, and then two belts can just run straight down the middle onto the next sections. Yep. See how easy just having your designs change by one tile makes it? Oh, it's crazy. So you basically just want this now, and then this just comes out like super easily. That literally just that one tile just made everything super easy. Sometimes you just got to go back to the drawing board. Great. And that is our, well, we should test it before I say that is our 2/3 destroyer. Let's get the shapes in, and then look at that. All the shapes are correct. All right, let me just compress this design a little bit more because we don't need these like crazy belts. So just put it here, right? That will still work. And then we'll just get all the belts going out like that. I believe we can even compress this part a little bit more. Are we sure this doesn't fit onto a 1x1? I don't know. It's looking awfully like it might fit onto a 1x1. I'm sure one of you guys can get this onto a 1x1. But anyway. I just want to compress the belt so I can put jumpers in. Make this design work a little bit faster. Are we sure this doesn't fit onto a 1x1? Let me just double check before I make a fool out of myself. Yeah, I think it's like one tile off being able to fit onto a 1x1. That's crazy. I'm sure you guys can fit this onto a 1x1. Someone try it and let me know. But I'm going to do this on a 2x1. That's good enough for me. We're going to jump that belt there. And then we're going to jump some of these belts as well. One over here, one over here. This can't jump. That's fine. We'll jump all the belts at the end here. Great. We'll copy this up 3 levels and then we will test this design. Let's chuck a bin down. Excellent. While that's testing, we can work on our final design, which is similar to this, except we need to remove, yeah, we're removing 1/3. Now we need to remove just a 1/6 of the shape. So let me get my 2x1 down again, and we're going to do like a very similar process to this. So let me just grab one of these and see if I can do the same thing as that, but remove 2 parts of the shape. I believe we can. So at the moment we're rotating like this. Oh damn, we need another rotation. So that's going to cause issues, and there's no way I can compress this any further, right? Yeah. Let me have a look. Can we do it in one rotation? We can rotate it the other way. If we just rotate this the other way and then destroy, wouldn't that give us... No, sorry. I need to keep 2 parts of the shape. So I need to rotate it such that 2 parts of the shape don't get destroyed. Let me get rid of this rotation. Maybe we leave this one this time and rotate this shape. And if we rotate it this way, then 2 parts get kept, and then we can destroy, and then we can swap back. So if I get a swapper now, I should be able to swap this back into position, right? So let's just try it. And there we go. We got the same thing going on. All right, great. We basically just follow the exact same design. We just got to modify the process a little bit. So let's just do that. Easy peasy, guys. Easy peasy. Where do we put this? Just like straight at the end, right? Like this. And then this goes out. And then we just need another one. Like here. That goes out. Then that goes out. This one goes on the inside. This one goes on the outside. Then we can cut some belts. Like here. Here, 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 here. And one more here. Great. Let's get that copied. We'll get that flipped onto the other side and copied up 3 levels. Oops. One there and there. Is that working? We're going to test it. Put a bin there. Let's check on our other designs. Obviously, our original design, half destroyer, is perfectly fine. Our quarter destroyer is perfectly fine, but our quarter destroyer now needs to be renamed full to 1/3. Then we've got our full to 1/6, which is looking perfectly fine. Let's check our full to 2/3. I guess this is going to be called. And then full to 5/6. All right, great. I believe that's going to be working. Let's check. Yeah, look at that. That is perfect. And the holes, like the way these blueprints work, the holes are all at the quadrant 1, like the top right. And if you cut them, then the remaining shape is all at the top right, which is perfect. I kind of want to rotate this one to get it to the top right, because this half is on the right. Yeah, I feel like this one just needs a little bit of a rotation right at the end. So let me just take the entire design. We will take it out by 1 tile. And then we'll just put rotators in. It just needs I think a 1 rotation counterclockwise. Yep. And that gets it to exactly where I want it. Perfect. So now we just need to get it out again. Oops. Make sure every level has a hopper. And perfect. Now that's also rotated in the right spot. Just to give some consistency to my blueprints, let's go back and check this one is working correctly. And that looks like it's working perfectly fine. Excellent. Now we just need to rename these blueprints. So in my blueprints folder, I've got a new thing called Hex Blueprints, and we're going to create our second folder in here. We're going to call this, I guess we'll just call them cutters, because they're kind of like cutting a shape down, right? That makes sense to me. We'll call them cutters, and we'll save all these into our hex cutters. So the first one is going to be, well, it doesn't matter what order we save it in, because they're going to be saved in alphabetical order in the blueprints thing, right? So we're going to call this full to half. Let's see how I'm going to mark these. I kind of want a hexagon. So let's say something like this. So a full hexagon. Oh, wait, why is that only 5 parts? That's a pentagon. What? You can have a pentagon. Oh my God. Is this like a thing at a future shape series thing? Like, is there going to be like pentagons and stuff? How do I delete this crap? All right, that should be a regular hexagon. Then I want to denote that it's becoming a half. So we want to do that, but we only want half a hexagon, right? And then we want to denote that it's going to turn into 2/3. So something like that. Then we got to denote that it just turns into a sixth. So one like that. Then we got to get the other missing bits. So we want 2/3 of the shape, and we want one missing bit. So something like that. Great. I mean, it would have been smart to put the holes where they actually are, but you know what, that's close enough for now. Let's get that icon there, and the first one is to half. So I'll just, yeah, put this as the icon, and then we'll call this full to half. And we'll chuck that in our hexagon folder, Hex Blueprints Rotator. No, Cutter. Great, save that. Then our next blueprint is going to be full to 2/3. So we'll save that blueprint in a similar manner. Call that full to 2/3, 1/3, sorry. Put that in the same folder. Then our next blueprint is full to 1/6. Same concept for the icon. Chuck it in the folder. Then our next blueprint is going to be full to 2/3. No, that's that one. So we're gonna copy this, rotate it, and make sure it's facing the direction I like all my blueprints facing. And then we'll go full to 2/3. Chuck that in the same folder. And finally, we've got our full to 5/6. So we'll save that. We'll go full, oops, that's not the one I want. Full to 5/6. That's the one. Beautiful. This is basically like our 3/4 remover, but we're removing like bits and pieces of the hexagon. Perfect. All right, put that in Hex Blueprint Cutters, and we will save that as full to 5/6. Perfect. Let's check the blueprints in the folder in our cutters. So we've got full to 5/6, full to half, full to 1/6, 1/3, and 2/3. It's unfortunate that the order of this is a little bit weird, but that's fine. I'm okay with it. I'm going to remove my half destroy and my quarter destroy because they're useless in hex mode. and I'm going to replace that with my cutters folder. Excellent. Test that out. See if it looks and feels nice. Yeah, look at that. Super easy. We can now fully manipulate a full symmetrical shape and remove very specific components that we want from it. I don't know if this works asymmetrically, but that's out of the scope of this video. We will deal with asymmetrical cutting and piecing together like in another video, but I don't think this works asymmetrically because it's like cutting it and then piecing it back together. Oh, yeah, it should actually work asymmetrically as well. Like it should just remove that top bit from any shape, right? Because a shape comes in and then it's just being rotated and half destroyed and then being pieced back together. But the way it's being pieced back together, it might result in the shape being flipped, and that's as a result of the fact that we were trying to compress the blueprint. So we might have to make an asymmetrical version of this that just the part that it's destroying rotates it back the same way and then pieces it back together the same way. But we'll have to test it. We'll try it out in another episode if we need to make another blueprint. If we don't need to make another blueprint, then this will just suffice, right? Excellent. Well, that's it for this episode. You'll find all the blueprints in the link in the description for you to play with and improve upon. If you guys can compress this even further, I'm sure you can fit this onto a 1x1. But I'll leave that as homework for you guys. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.